Well, before we get started talking about Virginia or our upcoming game with Florida International, I would just like everyone to know we had a tragedy in the Cardinal family today. Reggie Bonnafon's father, Wallace, passed away earlier. Reggie is a real family guy, had a close relationship with Wallace, as our staff did. So I would just ask that everybody's prayers and thoughts and go to Reggie and his family as he works through this. I got to talk to Reggie just a little bit ago. It's certainly going to be a very trying time for him. As far as the Virginia game goes, obviously we're very disappointed in it. You know, I really felt offensively that we did not play to our capabilities. We had a good opening drive, and then we basically spent 2.5 quarters where we weren't operating and executing and doing the things that we need to do. And when you watch the video, it's all 11 guys, you know, and one of the nature of being a quarterback is that when things don't go well, you take the blame, you take the pressure of it, but it really is all 11 guys. You know, part of it is our protection and our breakdowns. Part of it is our routes not being where they're supposed to be at times, and part of it is not getting the ball there. So it's, you know, when you're not executing the way you should, you see certain things show up play after play, and that's why we weren't able to move the ball and get it going. We did do a good job in the fourth quarter. We got our guys competed and executed and got the ball in the end zone and had a chance to win the game. Defensively, you know, I thought we played well. We shut down a lot of things. We did give up a couple of big plays that end up hurting you and haunting you at the end of the game, but put the defense in a lot of bad situations, and they were able to do a great job of keeping them out of the end zone, getting turnovers, and making a lot of really good plays on defense. So special teams, I felt like we didn't win the battle of special teams. Like I told our team last night, that you have to win 2 out of the 3 to win a game, and we weren't able to get that done. I think our average starting point was the 19-yard line, and theirs was the 46. So that's a lot of field position difference there. You have to be able to swing the field. You know, that's an offense's job. That's a punting job, and we weren't able to get that done. So, like I said, it's a very disappointing loss. We will get back on the practice field tomorrow and work extremely hard to get everything corrected.
Any explanation for why so many of Will's balls seem to be batted down?
Well, I think it's a combination of a number of things. One is we need to finish our blocks a little bit better and open up a little more passing lanes. Another one is they had number 88 who kind of quit rushing at times and mirrored the quarterback, and you know, he's long, he's tall, he was able to bat him down. Will sometimes looks to where he's going to throw the ball too soon and gives the defensive end the opportunity to see where his eyes are and mirror his hand. So there was a number of things that were involved in that. We've been working hard with Will all summer or not all summer, but all fall here to set and stand tall in the pocket. He has a habit sometimes of staying crouched and not getting his back leg under his back hip, which raises you up and allows you to deliver over the top of things. So some of it was that although he's 6'5", he wasn't throwing the ball from the statue of 6'5".
Are you expecting to make any changes in terms of your first 5 with the offensive line, or is it something that you think is coachable with that group?
Yeah, I mean, we need to go out and compete and practice, you know, and really do a good job of making sure our players understand that they need to practice the way we're asking them to practice. And, you know, offensively, I felt going into the game that we didn't have a good week of practice, you know, that we didn't have the same intensity, the same focus that we had before the Miami game. You really can't count the Murray State game because it was such a short week. You know, we only really had a practice and a half. But so, yeah, we need to open up some competition and let guys have opportunities and see where we're at. But, you know, and that's at all positions, not just the offensive line.
You watch a group throughout the week, Bobby. What is it that lets you know they're not focused, they're
Well, first is the intensity that you come to inside run with, because that's always a big practice, a big part of practice on Tuesday and Wednesday. And, you know, how do we come to that? What intensity do we have with it? And then as the practice goes on, are we making mental mistakes or non-concentration mistakes? And then what type of speed that we're practicing at. And, you know, I talked to our offensive coaches a number of times during the week that, hey, I don't feel good about where we're at right now. We need to pick up the intensity. We did come out Thursday and have a better practice, you know, and but we left a little bit out there on Tuesday and Wednesday that, you know, we can't do. And that's my responsibility. I've got to get us to be able to practice the way we need to.
I know they were offsetting penalties there at halftime, but did you guys hear anything more about what happened? And is there any discipline stuff with you guys? Or?
You know, I have not heard anything from the league about that. I did come out after halftime and spoke with the officials, and he said that they were offsetting penalties. There would be no yardage marked off and no ejections. That was the only communications I've had about the situation. And I've not seen it, so I've not seen video of it.
Talk about the punt, what kind of happened with James coming up, and it looked like Michael Lee maybe bumped him and some other guys there.
Yeah, Michael Lee's back there as our second returner, and you know, it's unfortunate. The punt before, he gets a great block, and that's his job, is to get the most dangerous guy and allow James to get started. And then if it's a bad punt, field a bad punt, you know. So he saw the punt come off the foot, felt like it was way over his head, which I thought it was too. And then all of a sudden James started running up. Michael was there to get his block, and James ran right into him. Michael had taken his eyes off the ball to get his block. You know, the situation on that's disappointing to me is we had 3 guys on the play that the previous punt return did a great job. Hustled, got blocks, and if they'd have been hustling and getting their blocks on this one, maybe we'd have been right there to recover it, you know. So it's one of those bad things that happen, and, you know, we got to try to see what we can do about correcting it.
What should happen there if it's weird like that? James telling him to get away, or like?
Well, see, James didn't know he was there. James saw the ball, said, I can go fair catch this thing, and ran up there to get, if he fair catches it, we got good field position, we're good and ready to go. So we've just got to work on it, on making sure that Michael goes attacks the guy and doesn't wait for him.
Having James back there was different, I think, because I think Ty started back there. Was there something to kind of mix it up, try to get something on the back there?
Yeah, we were trying to get some speed and some returns back there, and he did a nice job. You know, he had a couple big returns. Even the one that got called back, you know, was a really well-blocked play and a nice return. And, you know, I think James is getting better and better. And it's showing up a lot in practice. You know, even a few of the balls that got batted and were on third downs, he ran really good routes and was open to get the ball. And, you know, we weren't able to get it to him. But he continues to work hard and get better in practice.
What specifically changed on those 2 drives in the fourth quarter when Will came back in? Were guys just playing with more urgency, or because you were behind, or the offensive line did a better job?
Yeah, I think we focused more and we played faster. We went no huddle. We got some energy from the huddle, and we were able to get a first down. You know, I think that's one of the most difficult things for us, or, you know, disappointing thing for me is I felt like their defense is really good, but they don't have a lot of depth. So what we needed to do was keep them on the field. We needed to get a first down and move the ball and wear them down. And that's what we did on those 2 drives, is we were able to get first downs, make them go on the field, go fast, and then they weren't able to play as fast. So I think that's something that was, in the, you know, second and third quarter, was really disappointing, is besides the field position, we weren't able to get first downs and keep their defense on the field for a number of plays.
What kinds of things do you look for in a team coming off of a loss? How players respond? What do you find out? What are some of the signs you look for?
Yeah, the first thing we look for is leadership. You know, what kind of leadership's going to show up and who's going to work extremely hard to get it turned around. And then effort. You know, we want to go out and give great effort in practice and good focus in the meeting room. You know, we're not going to panic. We're going to continue to do the things that we know will work, but we just have to do them better.
Lorenzo seems like one of the leaders of this team. When you're down, was it 20-7 there in the fourth quarter? He was like he was going to get the ball back for the offense.
Yeah.
A couple big plays. He said that he kind of took it upon himself.
He's a big leader for us. You know, he works extremely hard. He's got a lot of energy, and he goes out and shows it on the video. And the players, besides getting to hear him talk and getting to hear him, you know, provide energy and support for his teammates, you get to watch him go out there and play hard.
How about offensively? Who's emerged as the leader on offense?
Yeah, that's an area where, you know, we're not happy coming off of this game, but I do really believe that when Will came back in the game, all right, he provided some energy and some leadership to that offense. When we came over on the sideline, he was talking and you know, directing his teammates on what we needed to get done to go score. So it was good to see that and see him step up there. Normally we get a lot of leadership from Eli and from Michael Lee as far as work ethic. They practice hard. They do things full speed. You know, we weren't able to get them involved in the game enough to show up in the game on Saturday. And, you know, again, that's I need to get them guys involved in the game.
At this stage of your career, how long does it take you to process defeat, and is it emotional or analytical more than it was when you were younger?
Yeah, both. You know, it's certainly emotional, and you know, it's hard. You on the plane ride back and at night while you're watching the Pittsburgh FIU game on TV till 1:30 in the morning, you think about every single play and, you know, what could have happened, what could have been the difference. When we come in here Sunday and we watch the video and grade it all and go through it with the staff, and then we go out last night and work out, that's kind of when you put it to bed. You know, you kind of like, okay, it's time to move on. Let's go forward. Let's get a good plan together. So when we came off the practice field last night, all our focus and direction is for this Saturday.
Is that different than maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago?
I don't know. You know, I think it's pretty much seems like the same.
But we'll talk about how you seen and a lot of your guys. It's a homecoming of sorts. I'm assuming a lot of family down there.
Yeah, a lot of guys will go down and get to play in front of their family and friends and fans. And what we have to do is make sure we stay focused. We need to understand, much like the Miami game, that this is a new season, new team. We get to watch them on video against Pittsburgh, where they played very well. You know, they played tough and made plays offensively, created havoc at times with their defense against Pittsburgh's offense. So I think that'll help us and get very motivated. But the biggest thing is we gotta enjoy the process and go through the process of preparing for a game. From the meetings tomorrow to practice tomorrow, and really just focus on that right now. That'll help us win the game more than anything.
Sometimes when a quarterback leaves a game, you lose him for the rest of the game. What cues were you looking for to see if he was able to come back in the game?
Well, he was very intent on everything that was going on in the huddle on the sideline. He was paying good attention. Sometimes in my career, we've taken guys off the field and they get to watch it a little bit from the sideline, and then have went back out and played well again. So I think the biggest credit for Will is that when he went back out on the field, he played with confidence, he had poise, and I thought he really competed. And you know, that was a very, very positive coming out of that game, was to be able to step back in there when you're down and fight back and get us in a position to win the game.
All right, guys.
Oh, well, we went through this kind of last year with Brandon down there, WKU. I mean, how did you work with a quarterback psyche when they have a bad stretch, you pull them and then you try to put them back in, either as a starter or at any point?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is they have to understand that they're not the only quarterback or the first or the last that are going to go through this. It's just the nature of the position, you know. But you have to be able to focus and keep your eyes downfield. You know, Coach Mark Brunell is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever been around. He's been through this, where all of a sudden your eyes aren't downfield, you're seeing the rush and you're distracted. and you don't play the way you normally do. So I think it's just sitting down, visiting with them, and then them going out and working extremely hard to correct those things.
Devontae has been tweeting a little bit that he's feeling better and things are going well. Is he on course with what you guys expect?
I knew I should have got his Twitter to give me that so I can understand what's going on. No, actually, I think everything there has been very positive so far. You know, we're very fortunate. We have what's called an Alter G, thanks to Larry Benz and his contributions to our athletic department. And it's a treadmill that allows you to reduce the athlete's weight. So he's been able to get in the Alter G, reduce his weight, and walk and do some exercises, and it continues to feel better for him. So, thank you very much.